What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way. I'm your host, Jim Minton, Dickie Wabash, and joining me today is a man who is insanely proud of his outfit. The 5'7" gift from heaven, Oliver Kane, is here. And listen, I gotta say, if you are not striving to match the drip of Oliver Kane at any given point in your life, what are you even doing?
Do you know how hard it was to find this shirt? That wasn't like, I was looking for a bootleg of it because the originals go for like $1, and it's like my favorite NWO shirt of all time. It's the NWO Wolfpack Elite.
Yeah.
After the finger poke of doom, where they were heel but yet still babyface. It was, yeah, it took me forever, and then I got lucky and found one on my shop app, and I just happened to have a bunch of credits on my shop app, so I got it real cheap, and I'm excited.
Dude.
So yeah, I find weird things. Dude, I bought the special edition Hogan action figure from Toy Biz that has this shirt,
just so that you could match it.
Yes, I mean that's one of the few things that I'll get a weird in particulars. It's like when we were watching Mid-South, and we saw Perez and Wendell Cooley wearing J's, and I'm like, these have to be the first time they were wearing the bands the year they came out. And we just put that on for no reason, and we were like, holy shit, look at this. I can't believe these guys this must be the original, like the first ever wearing of J's.
They had to be. Here's the thing though, dude, I can't fault you for doing stuff like that. I mean, for crying out loud, I bought the Larry Zbyszko Disney World polo that he wore on the episode of Nitro that the Outsiders invaded. Yeah. But I mean, so I'm that same way.
You hit a brick wall with that, and who'd you come to
and
find
who found it? Okay. Oliver, the funny thing is, most of the time while Oliver is finding this stuff, I'm on the phone with him, and I'll just be like making a phrase, and then he'll go, yeah. I think I found it. This rules.
The Edge shirt that you had never seen before, and you could not find it. The special edition Edge shirt.
I've never talked about that. I don't think I've ever publicly talked about that.
And I was like, give me a couple minutes, and within like a day and a half, I had found it. And it wasn't listed as Edge, but I was able to find the same because we were trying to find the value of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
for those of you that have no clue what we're talking about, I have this Edge shirt that I bought, or that my mom bought for me. It was like from like 2010, whatever, where WWE did this run of like quote unquote limited edition shirts, and that they were set to like a certain amount. And I've never been able to find these shirts. What did we see? There was a Cena one, a Triple H one, a Punk one.
Yes.
Edge,
Orton. There was an
Orton one. I think there's only those 5 shirts.
Yes.
And I could find nothing about anything involving that shirt online because I don't know. I could be sitting on a gold mine. I could be sitting on a shirt that's worth $2-3 bills or something because it was limited edition. I also, though, as a kid, I was very drawn, and it carries into my adult life, drawn to the 2 words limited edition. All I had to do was see limited edition, and I just immediately assumed that it was worth money. So anyway, this goes back to pre-MadBash. Madrox and I are trying to find this shirt, can't find it. I give it a couple of months, try to find it, nothing. Oliver found it. Took him about a day, but Oliver found it. That's your special ability. Listen, people know the story of you finding the exact baseball bats that the NWO used. So that's Oliver's superpower.
You know what else I found? And I almost bought a pair, but then I chickened out because I don't think I'd ever wear them. But the black Jinkos Hogan wore with the Jinko Hogan.
Oh my God!
Because honestly, my favorite Jinko Hogan is the one with the taxi cab Jinkos, the Woodmaster K-Dog version of Hulkster.
Okay, so that's not Woodmaster. K-Dog Hogan and Woodmaster Hogan are two different Hogans, yeah. Because I went back and watched that promo, and he's not dressed as K-Dog. But there's what? So
Mattel, that's what I want. Mattel, we need
Jinko Hogan.
We need Jinko K-Dog version of Hogan with the flannel and the NWO Wolfpack shirt and the Harley Davidson beanie. That's the Hogan I want.
But didn't we get the Hogan of him wearing the white sunglasses with the white New York Yankees beanie? Did we get that Hogan, or am I making that up?
I think we did. I don't know. I doubt it has the Yankees logo on the
there's
beanie.
No way.
There's no way. That is too much money to license that logo.
Yeah. They said to me, Woody. And I never understood why he was calling himself the Woodmaster. And it's like a W. He's talking about his dick, of course, but Hollywood. He's Hollywood, but he shortened it to Wood. So he's like, with the NWO black and white Wood attack. In
the great words of Linda Hogan, have you ever been fucked by a giant?
I need to finish the Hogan documentary, dude. I've been caught up watching other things, and I've been busy. Specifically, what I've been busy with is what we're talking about here today. MadBash Wrestling officially crossed the event horizon. And we are here to talk about the show. We are here to talk about some behind the scenes. We are here to talk about just general thoughts on the show. And it was very apropos to have Oliver here, because I don't think people realize, unless they really pay attention to content, how much you were helping me out behind the scenes with getting some of this stuff, some of these moving pieces into place. So that's why I was like, look, Oliver has got to be the one that's on here when we talk about the first ever standalone. This is important. The first ever standalone MadBash Wrestling show. I'm going to turn it over to you, man. You just give me some of your opening thoughts on it. Whatever, dude. I mean, we got an hour to fill.
Let's see. I would just like to point out that it was almost a double sellout, because it was a sellout of the original amount of chairs we had. And then we got about 25 to 30 more chairs.
Yep.
And we almost sold all those out too.
We were, according to Papa Wabash, we were 10 to 12 chairs from a sellout.
Yes. And that's when we had to go extra chairs. So
yep.
What
we just so happened to find more chairs.
What we thought was available originally were taken care of, and and it was, I don't know, man. I always felt like if you put the right pieces in place, running a show is so easy. And I feel like it's something that is really simple that people overcomplicate and screw up. And if you fill it with guys that just want to wrestle and they want to, they have a good environment, good attitudes, and just they know how to work in front of different crowds.
Yeah.
As I like to say, you don't sell sushi to a walleye crowd. And it was amazing. Like, to be able to have some of the guys that, like Aaron Williams is amazing. And
I love that, man.
He was able to come in and be a part of the first show. We were able to get Beef's, on ROH. He's done some AEW stuff. He's a contracted wrestler. The amount of guys that just want to be a part of MadBash, that it's almost like now the hard part is running shows and having enough spots. And
we've already to get to jump ahead of the narrative here. We had 5 matches on this first show.
Mm-hmm.
We're already up to 6 on this next show because of the talent that we've got, and we're going to get into what we got cooking in May as this conversation goes on.
And we were in and out. We didn't overstay.
No, not at all.
Everybody loved the show. It's almost like you're in a new town and you have to kind of train the crowd who's not used to wrestling on how you should react to a wrestling show.
Yes.
And we had a roster full of guys that were seasoned or young and brought up the right way, so they knew what to do. Like, we had a lower ceiling. Nobody complained. Everybody worked with the parameters, and it was amazing. The locker room was great. We looked after each other.
One of the most fun locker rooms that I've ever been a part of. And I also want to say this before we, as we continue the conversation here. I don't want anyone to think that I am only singing the praises of this show because it was my show. I'm just shooting from the hip with this shit, dude. Like, I truly looked at that locker room and the camaraderie of that locker room. I've never been in a less cliquey locker room. I mean, granted, there were guys that were sitting together, but they weren't keeping to themselves. Everyone was up. Everyone was, brother in it. And I've never been in a less cliquey locker room before.
Everybody was communicating to try not to replicate things, to give, everybody worked with the crowd.
Yeah.
Worked with the fans. It was awesome to have Beef there with the guys he brought in. It was awesome to have Aaron there. We got Hans from the Chicago area to come in. That kid is special.
Oh, man. Hans Carden is my new favorite professional wrestler. And I'm not he's solid. Here's a little, again, where I'm just going to do a blanket inside baseball, because we're going to be getting inside baseball a lot. Yeah. We originally had somebody booked that could not make the show. They accidentally double booked themselves. Not going to say who it is because I don't want heat on that person. They don't deserve heat. It was an honest mistake. Yeah. It was an honest mistake. This same person has said, I fucked up. Listen, I will be back whenever you will have me.
Well, and this person gave us
plenty of heads up.
Yes. And they own and sometimes that happens. Sometimes if you have, a life and children and things that are pulling you, and you just put something down, put something down in your calendar and you're like, oh crap, I forgot I put it, this, that, and the other.
So my point with all this is we needed a spot filled. So Uncle Oliver, head of the locker room vibe checker, said, I got this cat, Hans Carden. Let me see if he's available. And we talked turkey, and I agreed to bring him in sight unseen, because ultimately, at the end of the day, our mission statement is and always will be paying it forward back to independent wrestling. You don't see that anymore. And I have always said that you are the type of person that if you give me an opinion on someone, I know that that's a good opinion. I don't need to, okay, brother, here we go. This is good. And he came in and he exceeded expectations. He was amazing. And he will, spoiler alert, well, I mean, he's been announced. He will be back in May. And I hope to make Hans Carden a MadBash Wrestling mainstay for sure.
Yeah. I was talking with some of these guys. Aaron loved it. He appreciated the locker room. He loved just the whole vibe. We did a couple little things to take care of guys. We'll keep that to ourselves because, it is what it is. The guys know what we did.
Yeah.
Beef messaged me saying, hey man, give me all your dates. And he has to clear it with Tony Khan's office to come work on a show.
Yeah.
So the fact that he can, can tell them how great it was and show this, and he knows we wanted to create an environment, and I feel we did, and it's only growing because now we got Christian Rose coming in, and that opens the doors to many things. I've known Christian forever. You've known Christian forever. I've known Christian so long, it's hard to call him Christian Rose.
Yeah. It's hard to not drop that shoot name on him because I do it to him all the time.
But that's what we wanted to make it a part of. That's what we wanted MadBash to be, is a place where guys can come in, they can work, they can bring the guys that they're training, or younger guys they feel want an opportunity. Like we got Saban Gage coming in. And that's a young cat that is killing it.
Yeah, he was just announced today. I'm excited to work with Saban.
And I had a match with him right before I got my shoulder surgery. And it was, during COVID, and he has grown immensely since then. He's going to run me ragged. Pro tip, if you're going to have a match with Aaron Williams, don't do a 5K the night before. Your body is not a fan of doing those in a row if you're not in top physical shape, and I am getting myself back into top physical shape. But when you got a little injuries here or there that you're nursing, it is not a good idea to do a 5K and then the next day wrestle Aaron Williams.
What is it with MadBash wrestling in 5Ks? Colby ran a 5K to promote our last May show, or April show.
Talking about that, Colby's an insane goofball. Him and Devontae. I think the funny part is
we're kind of jumping around a little bit.
How inside baseball can we go? Because someone told me something that was hilarious and made me laugh.
So we're kind of jumping around a little bit here. So let's start to get. I mean, we can go as inside as you think would be fine. I mean, I think that's why people come to this podcast. We're not talking within the bounds of
the fact that Devontae forgot an accessory, and so he ran to the back during his match and grabbed it, and then came back to the ring mid-match. Cracks me up.
Yeah, it was so funny. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave that specific story for Paige show because it was really fun. Listen, we're gonna bend that proverbial K5 on this one, but when we get to Paige show, I think all bets are going to be off because there's a few things that I really want to get into.
Yeah.
But no, it was one of those things. I would say almost every day leading up to the show for the week leading up to the show, you would check on me. Jason V would check on me. Kid Riot would check on me. Dalton Davis checked on me a couple times. And I will be honest with everyone right now. I was expecting to be a nervous wreck. And I genuinely wasn't. I made my display name on the Independent Wrestling Shootout last week, Stressed Dickie. I really wasn't stressed. Genuinely. And I was another shout out. Spencer Wallace would constantly check in on me. Spencer, I believe, is the unsung hero of that day.
I think part of it too was the fact that we made sure that we had professionals, and you were surrounded by guys that if you said, "Hey, can you take care of this?" they would take care of it.
Yes.
Walt was there.
Oh, so we're going to get into the.
It took a lot off of your plate because you knew Walt could handle it, and Walt helped with the setup. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we're going to get into the Walt portion of this podcast here, because Walt deserves his own dedicated portion because of how much he did for me that day. But as I was saying, like Spencer told me, he said, "Look, hey, my dad was the same way." He said it wouldn't hit him until day of the show. And I was full bore expecting day of the show, I'm going to be a nervous fucking wreck. I woke up and I've talked about this a little bit before. I have a history with headaches, and they always would come up on the most inopportune times. And I woke up that morning with a headache, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a problem. I take medication to help curb my headaches because I would just have a hard time getting rid of them. And I knew I had that and I was all good. But that was just another thing that I was like, oh great, I'm going to wake up with a fucking headache and it's going to ruin my day. But then the day goes on I mobile order my Starbucks. That's my Saturday tradition. I get a latte from usually a latte, a cold brew, something, and breakfast from Starbucks every Saturday. Go pick it up, come home, eat it, and then go about my day. And I'm sitting there eating my sandwich, and I'm like, where are these nerves that I'm supposed to be having? They haven't kicked in yet. And then I'm going to jump around a little bit because there was a moment before the show, but I get to the show and nothing has hit me yet. I'm still fine. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then the ring is getting put up and I'm still fine. And then we're inching closer and closer to call time. I'm still fine. And then the doors are open. I'm still fine. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm actually going to be okay. And then the national anthem, I actually want to start a band by Sleigh Bells plays, which is the MadBash Wrestling theme song. And Walt's about to walk out, and then it hits me. Just like it always does. And it was the standard Dickie Wabash is stressed formula. I know I'm about to walk out in front of the crowd. So as soon as I walk through the curtain, I'm good. I talked about that on Diner. I've talked about that on every piece of content I've ever been on. It doesn't matter. It always hits me. I get nervous right before I walk through the curtain. But it was the same level of nervous that I would get if I was on EPW or AVW or hybrid or whatever. It was the same nerve, and I knew I was okay. And Zach Abstract, the goodest of brothers, walks up to me, doesn't say a fucking word, squares me up, looks at me, and we do a couple breathing exercises. And then he said something to the effect of, go fucking show them. And then bum, 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 bum. And I said, fuck it, here we go. And I walked through the curtain, and I was good.
Well, you booked yourself to cut a promo at the beginning of the show. So
I booked, hey, brother, hey, who booked themselves to cut a promo at the end of the show? You know what I mean? But
I got to do the Anita promo, man.
The Onita promo, brother. But no, I go out, I do my opening thing, and everything from that point on, the nerves never hit me. And that is a shocker. I have talked about my mental health plenty on this show, my weird function in my brain of where I'm constantly expecting the other shoe to drop, where I can't embrace good things because my brain is wired to just expect the good thing to go away. That never happened. That never happened at all on Saturday. And I was so grateful.
I think sometimes that's a self-fulfilling prophecy with a lot of us, because it was the same way with me. And then if you kind of, I don't want to get too, but with me, what helped me a lot is, especially, and I think you saw it firsthand putting the show together, is, okay, what the shoe dropped, but there's a better shoe over here. There's a better shoe over there. Like, we were able to, okay, this didn't work out how we wanted to, but we were able to fix it and give it something better or completely different, or just as good flavor. I mean, if not for two people not being able to make it, Hans wouldn't have been on the show.
Yeah.
And then look what you got from Hans. So I think you going through this this experience of, we had couple quick setbacks, and then we were usually, all right, we fixed it. All right, we fixed it. If not for one person not being able to make it originally, we wouldn't have got beef.
Yeah.
And so it's to see that and to see the growth already, and the fact that they want us back, and the fact that they were so excited, and people are like, man, I wish I wasn't working at the Legion at the bar underneath, because I wanted to watch the show.
Yeah, there was a woman that said that, and that was a really cool feeling.
And just the reaction from the fans who were like, this is the first show ever. This is the first show ever. It was funny that when your dad grabbed those three little kids and took them in the back, and it was like,
and I didn't know about that until you told me after.
Okay, Tiger.
Yeah,
let's go on. I go, that's Josh, that's Dickie's dad. And they're like, oh. And they just kind of laughed, because he's like, these are the first time these kids have ever been, and they really enjoy it. I could see the joy and how proud your parents were with it, because they know that how long you wanted to do a standalone show and how long, and what you have overcome, just anxiety wise and mental health wise, to be able to do this and put, and it's a big undertaking. And that's why I suggested, let's try to do the joint shows, because I didn't want you to just buy a ring like some people were pushing, and then you find out I don't like doing this. So let's deal with this, and let's see if this is something you really want to do, because at the end of the day, it's not going to change me, being a part of MadBash and hanging out and this, that, and the other. But I didn't want you to put all this, effort and all this financial stuff into it, honestly, and physical and mental and all the effort and sacrifice you've had to make. I didn't want you to do that if it wasn't really what you wanted to do, and it to crash out on you. And then you realize, then you think like maybe I'm using you or someone else is using you, because I've, for the past couple of years that you've been doing the MadBash stuff, and then you brought me in, I kept telling you, slow it down. Let's see how this works. You don't need to make this big investment. Let's just build. When some other guys would just be like, well, when are you going to buy a ring? When are you going to buy a ring? And when you got a ring,
just buy the ring already. Just buy the ring already.
Yeah.
Quit buying shoes and buy the ring already.
Yeah. When it's, it's not their money. It's not them that's going to be on the hook if it all falls to shit. And I was just extremely proud of you, and just, inside baseball, your mom and dad gave me a card, which was wonderful. I found it in my gear bag today. So, but it just to be able to give you the help in any way that you were able to accomplish something that you wanted to do forever. And I had told you from the very beginning, if we do this show and then it falls and then you don't want to do it again, you still got to do the show.
Yeah.
Like you accomplished your goal. You went out there and you're getting sponsors. You got people that are wanting you to come other places. Hey, I saw your show went well. What about, do you think about, this Legion in this town, or this and that? And, people want you to share, you know what I mean? They want you to be a part of things. And from just an idea where you're like, hey, I want to pay for matches. So for my buddy Dalton, because I want Dalton to be able to wrestle Shank, and I want him to, give him this thing that keeps him going, because, you came at MadBash at a selfless place, and I'm glad to see that you're getting what you put into it and then some.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I could spend 30 minutes singing your praises and just talking about how much you've been a help, and like, you're someone that I consider a mentor, someone that I consider a big brother. So to hear that from you, that absolutely means the world. Thank you so much.
I would mute you. I would mute you if you went on for 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't need to.
No, like Oliver Kane, like it is damn near impossible to love a human being the level that I love you. Like it,
thank you.
Non-family, you know what I mean? And, I made a post on my personal Facebook account talking about how in November of last year, it was taken at Sam Knight's show. There is a picture of me backstage. I'm miserable. You can see the depression on my face. I just went through a terrible breakup from a person who we were literally planning our future. And then she breaks up with me, and she's a civilian. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
There were other things going on that were just making me miserable. And I was to a point where I was just like, do I even want to be in the business anymore? Like, do I even want to do this? And then over time, it builds up, and we're fine. And then there's a picture of me, you, Dalton, and Zach. And I'm the biggest smile on my face. And then there's another photo taken with, as we call him, Green Kid Chris. He was also in the photo. So shout out to him. It was just a good brothering, man. And like to see the difference that, you know, even 6 months can make.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just if you get what you put into something. And I was negative. I was in a negative environment, and you know, I'm still, I've talked about this a little bit with you, and I'm not there anymore. I finally got past it, of where I was looking at this show and I had a Booker's equivalent of an out-of-body experience of, there's no way this is my show. This isn't my show. And then I've since now been accepted. Like you called me, I think Tuesday, or it was either Monday or Tuesday. And you're like, so do you realize that it was your show yet? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. So yeah, man, it was fucking incredible, dude. And like, I couldn't have done it without you. And there's a lot of other people that I couldn't have done it without. But I want to talk about them once we get past into the back half.
I remember, you know, you going through that stuff in November, and I remember I was like, look, we made a promise that we were gonna, let's just finish the things. We'll scale it down, and then, you know, that way. And I think it gave you something to focus on that helped a little bit. And then also we were just not talk about the dumb shit. We would, you know, and kind of like say, hey man, you know, you had a good support system around you, and people that really, you know, cared about you more than just, oh, what can I get from MadBash? What can I get from Josh? What can I, you know, this, that, and the other. I mean, I could never repay you for coming and filming, you know, Nicholas's, when we did the Pekin thing, and when my son went, you know, out for blood on the team.
Which, if you guys have not seen that video, it is available on the MadBash Studios YouTube account.
He was like, you know, but you know, every time he's like, hi Josh, if we're talking,
every time. Yeah. And you know, I've done, you know, like, you'll call me and be like, hey, I'm trying to find this figure. And if I see it, I'll grab it for him. Or hell, I've even given you some from my personal collection to give to him, and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what this is. This is another Facebook post.
Did you ever talk about the gift I got you?
Have
we talked about the shirt? Have we ever talked about the shirt?
No, we haven't, but you talk about it while I look up a quote from another post that I made.
Okay. So I don't know if you people know this, but Dickie Roberts. Yeah, my brain just went special. That's a great David Spade movie, by the way. Child actor. It's where first time where Corey Haim's really fat at the end. You have to look for him in the where they're singing the song. Anyway, ADHD, bring it back. So Dickie is a huge Finn Balor, Prince Devitt.
Specific, fan. I mean both, but I love Devitt. Yeah.
And I was able to find a signed Prince Devitt shirt, and I think it was around the time you were a little bummed because you haven't had it that long.
It was probably it was around that time.
And we passed gifts back and forth, and I was like, here you go, man. And it came with like signed by Prince Devitt. The shirt's cool.
Yeah.
Like you almost wish you just had that shirt you could wear regularly, but I do. So he was supposed to put that in a case sooner or later, or a frame.
I'll get to it. But no, so yeah, it's the little things like that I appreciate more than anything. But no, so to quote a Diner podcast, Red Velvet, which incredible props to him and Reb from JTR as well. Their commentary, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. Those two together, and I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not just saying this because I'm in my feels. They are better than Madrox and I as a team. I always talked about how good Madrox and I were as a team on commentary. They've blown us out of the water. This is why I've retired from commentary. You know,
our
I've just
R&R Express. Well, unless somebody wants to shoot you a payday.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, money talks, boy. But anyway,
the Red and Rev Express, baby.
Yeah, but so Diner Podcast, he made a post that it's just pictures of him with all the guys at the show. He always does that. And I shared it and I said, I'm glad I could bring together so many rad people. Stuff like this is the unsung beauty of wrestling. And I think that's the truth. That is very much the unsung beauty of wrestling, is bringing people together from different walks of life. Would I have ever met Aaron Williams if not for wrestling? Would I have ever met you if not for wrestling? Dalton, Zach, all these Beef, any of these people? No, I definitely wouldn't have. Would you have ever met these? No. And it's brought together so many cool people into my life, whether they be just auxiliary players, for lack of a better term, or if they're like my core group in my life. For that one moment, we were all family.
Wrestling is the greatest, most heartbreaking, most annoying, most fulfilling thing there is. I wouldn't have met my ex-wife if not for wrestling. So I wouldn't have had my kids if not for wrestling. I wouldn't have met my current wife because of, if I didn't have my, which, pro tip, when you get married, find you a woman that does not like wrestling if you're a wrestler, because then you don't have to worry about her wanting to be a valet or be a wrestler or this and that, where she just will come to your show and support you, but then she has her own life, because it works better the other way. If it works the other way, good luck. But me personally, I found it way better when my wife just kind of like would come and occasionally and bring the kids. If not, she's like, dad's doing this, we're gonna go all do this.
Yeah.
So,
well, before we get too far into this, I just want to remind everyone that this is, of course, the Spot Show podcast. Each and every week, my friends and I get together and we talk about the wacky world of independent wrestling and everything in between. If you like what we're doing here, you can, of course, go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. There, you can back us at the $5 tier. You're going to be getting all of our shows early and ad-free, as well as all of our matches early, because I have already started uploading matches from the show to the Patreon. So go check that out. You're going to want to see that, because this was a murderer's row of matches, man. I'm telling you, if you don't have the extra money to toss our way, I understand that completely. For completely free, you can go to madbashstudios.com. There, you're going to find links to all of our social media platforms. Go give us a follow on Facebook. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a 5-star written review. That, all of this mixed together, is how you keep the microphones on and the envelopes full. Some plug skis and upcoming dates. As I said, on the Patreon, MadBash Wrestling Event Horizon matches have started going up. The full show will be going up exclusive on the Patreon, later to be up on YouTube. We still don't know the exact time frame on that yet. Still kind of working out the kinks on that one. Exactly how
if you Venmo me, I will give you the kayfabe link, guys. If you Venmo me,
Venmo Oliver Kane, he will give you a kayfabe link. And he will.
At least I'll charge people instead of just giving away.
Instead of signing up for a free trial and then giving it to all the people. But anyway, those will be coming up here. Those are the plug skis. Upcoming
May 23rd. May 23rd. The gang wrestles for the troops.
I love it. Gang, May 23rd, the gang wrestles for the troops. That is, of course, a reference to It's Always Sunny. The Birds of War may or may not be in the house. I don't know yet.
And you guys remind me of my kids.
The Maniac loves you. Okay, my boys. Listen, I'm going to run down some people that are going to be on that show. Oliver's just over here doing Piper. We got Christian Rose is going to be in the house. Devontae Knox is going to be in the house. Oliver Kane is going to be in the house. Zach Abstract, Dalton Davis, Eric Dillinger, Sabin Gage. If I forget anyone, I am sorry. We've got a lot of people coming and being on that card. And I'm going to give you early exclusive.
Hans
Carden is going to be there, half crab himself.
Can we spoil? I guess
I'm going to spoil one match.
I was going to say Colby Jack.
Colby Jack may be there. I mean, it depends on if he's been scraped off the floor yet.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to beat myself to the punch because this has not been announced yet publicly, but it will be on the Facebook. Listen, this might be one of the biggest matches in the Midwest. Devontae Knox versus Christian Rose. Champion versus champion. That's right. The MadBash Wrestling Championship and the Dreamwave Alternative Championship is going to be on the line in that match. I believe this is the first time ever that Christian Rose has ever gone one-on-one with Devontae. So this is going to be, I'm going to use the word banger.
Has Christian Rose ever defended the Dreamwave Alternative title? Not at Dreamwave.
He defended it at Hybrid, but this is definitely the first time that a Dreamwave title has been defended on a MadBash show because this is only our second show. So yeah, tickets for that will be available at the door. Listen, I'm going to tell you, we sold out front row last time. So if you want to get some front row tickets, you get to 302 South 8th Street, the American Legion Post 90. In Marshall, Illinois, that gang wrestles for the troops. The raffle that night. We don't know fully what's going to be in the raffle just yet, but all the proceeds from that raffle are going to go to the American Legion for a very good cause. So that's what we got coming up down the pipeline.
We are working on a way for you to order the tickets online and pay for them online.
Yes, very soon, very soon. So listen, if you are not on the Patreon, you are about to. This episode is brought to you by Venom Energy. Hey, we've all been there, and there's nothing wrong with admitting to it. Well, what I mean is that we've all hit that midday slump, and we all need a little push to get us through the rest of the day. Well, what better option to give you a pick-me-up than one of the wonderful flavors of Venom Energy? Venom is what gets MadBash through those long show days, and we know that it can do the same for you. I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit for you, too. Yeah, come to our merch table when you see us at a show, and with the purchase of a MadBash Wrestling sticker or magnet, you get a Venom Energy drink on us. While supplies last, of course, so you better act quick. We'd like to thank Venom again for sponsoring this episode. Please consume responsibly. Not recommended for children under 18, pregnant or nursing women, or people sensitive to caffeine. This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/MadBash Studios. If you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, you are helping fund the definition of independent. Hundreds of hours of content starting at just $5 a month. You are going to get early, ad-free access to everything that MadBash Studios has to offer on top of exclusive shows starting at just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee a month. You can go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios and you can support the dream of being unapologetically creative. Wrestling presents Event Horizon. Listen, everything Oliver said about this show, I just don't want to repeat ourselves because we came on here when we were first announcing the show and we were talking about how great it was going to be, and spoiler alert, it was great. What I want to talk about more is the behind the scenes key of it. I want to talk about the minutia of the show, the things that went into the show, and some of the unsung heroes of this show. Look, I can sit here and talk about the matches all I want. If you want to hear reviews of the matches, go check out Independent Wrestling Shootout. They are going to be covering Event Horizon. Of the time of this recording, they haven't aired live yet, but it's already up, and you can go check that out on your podcast feeds, whatever. So we're not here to review matches. We are here to just talk about the show. I want to give the biggest shout out. Earlier, I called Spencer Wallace the unsung hero, but I honestly, the unsung hero of MadBash Wrestling Event Horizon was Walter Barron. Walt, the ring announcer for the night, MadBash Wrestling Hall of Famer. I don't even know where to begin. That show would not have gone as smooth if it were not for Walt. And I knew that going into it because you have a story about how Walt helped you book something smoothly.
Yeah, when we did the Shank show years ago, it was full on. Everybody came and worked for free. I fed everybody, but Walt basically helped me run the show because I was getting everything else, like the catering and so I was like, Walt, can you take care of this? Can you help this? If anything pops up, can you, I trust you. And I knew with Walt's experience, and Walt knows logical. I mean, it was going to be easy. He set up the chairs the way the chairs should be at Event Horizon. He set up the entrances. So we would have a heel entrance and a babyface entrance. That way it would help. It would make it easier for the fans
to
who
understand.
aren't used to wrestling yet to understand how to react. And, oh, this guy's a good guy. This guy's a bad. A couple things where you gotta massage and teach a wrestling area who hasn't had wrestling for about a decade. He kept the locker room smooth. I don't really think there wasn't really, luckily, with who we brought in and knowing everybody and the talent that it was, there wasn't ever really anything that we needed to, you know what I'm saying?
No, there wasn't.
Which when no one was like, oh, I got to go over, oh, this, that, and the other. It was just like, what finish are you doing? What are you doing? What are you, hey, are you guys going outside? Don't do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Everybody worked as one cohesive unit, and It was wonderful. And that's how shows should be. And that's what I've been trying to explain. I'm glad that some guys were able to finally see that, oh, this is how easy it should be. We're not a TV production.
Me included.
We're not a TV production. We're not, a DVD production back in the day where you have to do a certain thing. So you're not as stressful. It's not like you have to hit this exact time mark, but everybody stayed within their time. We were out before you said 9:15. You wanted us done, and the ring was being torn down by 9:15. We were done by.
Listen, you want to talk about unsung heroes? I don't think ring crews or behind the scenes crews ever get enough praise.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're inside that baseball. It is like 8:45 and match 5 is still in the ring. And Oliver comes to me and he's being main event and he goes, what time you want out of here? And I said, 9 is too early. And you went, yeah. And I said 9:15 and you said done. Oliver Kane was walking out of the ring after his Onita promo at 9:04. And the ring and the chairs were already being torn down at 9:06.
And the match ended the fourth match, because did we have 5 matches?
We had 5 matches.
Okay, the fourth match ended right when we were having that conversation.
Yeah.
So we were out there. We went a good 15 solid minutes of ring work and maybe 17 of after the promo, because I did the Onita. So, I wanted to thank everybody involved. I wanted to show the fans, tell them about our next date and just show the appreciation for them coming out to watch our show. And I didn't go 20 minutes. I went 2 minutes, but it got over everything. And it was, before we were getting out of there. The majority of guys, other than the ones that decided to stay and eat, were out before 9:20.
Yeah.
And that's after telling everybody the goodbyes, and we were efficient. Big shout out to AVW, Cecil Cerveza, for you had inside baseball. You have a ring, but it wasn't going to be ready in enough time to go get it and then come back and then all this stuff. We would have been real close. So we called up Cecil, which we had already talked to him about, and I told you, don't worry about it. Don't worry about trying to get your ring and getting all that worked in. That's too much to put on your plate right now.
That was one of the few times that in the days leading up to the event, you actually kind of yelled at me because I was really freaking out. And you're like, shut up. You said, it's going to be fine.
Yes. And it wasn't like it was Uncle Oliver, it was dad mode saying, you're stressed about it. Because you were like, well, we'll rent the ring, but then we'll still go get the ring. I'm like, well, just don't even worry about that right now. We got Cecil's and then we got a ring crew and we paid a ring crew and they did a phenomenal job because not only did they get that ring efficiently up and down, but they also, I didn't mean to go zoom out, but hell yeah. Oh, I'm zooming back in. I'm not even hitting any buttons doing it. Wow. Oh no, my knee was touching a button. Yay. But not only were they efficient, but then they also worked, the camera, video, and stills, and they did a phenomenal job. And, I think a lot of times guys are taken for granted. And to me, everyone who's a part of the show
is a part of the show.
Yes. I mean, when I go to places and I talk to the sound guy, I'm like, thank you very much. Here you go. I appreciate it. Thank you. If I talk to the camera people, thank you very much. If I'm
going to put a pin in that one, by the way, because I'm going to come back to that, but keep going.
But yeah, so the effort that the ring crew that we utilized did, that Thad and Cam did with shooting video and all that, and they had a great attitude, and they were efficient, and everybody was appreciative of them. And I'm glad that they were able to see, because they're training to become wrestlers. I was glad they were able to see how easy it should be. Because I think people make things too difficult. And I think there's too much drama and stress on some of these shows that we're all doing it to have fun. We're all doing it to learn. So that's what MadBash was supposed to be, a place where everybody can have fun and a place that you would bring in veterans. That the amount of people that sat under the learning tree of Aaron Williams and asked him for advice, and Aaron watched the whole show. We were main event, but he watched the whole show.
One of the other unsung heroes of the show.
And he told, hey, this is what you need to work on. I see what you're doing, but try it this way. With this crowd, you got to do this, because Aaron, fun fact, me and Aaron have worked with each other in singles matches in 3 separate decades. Wow. I looked at it. I looked up cage match, and we have worked with each other in 3 separate decades. God. And there was 5 years between each match. It's wild. So, fun. Here's another fun fact. Collective age was 84 years old of our match, because we are old. We are old men.
Oh my God.
We might not look like it, or we might, but we can still go. And like I said, the fact that Aaron, was giving advice and people wanted that advice. That's what MadBash, and that's what wrestling used to be. Except the advice was a lot meaner, but people didn't realize if someone was going to ring you, they were doing it because they wanted you to be better. Because if they didn't like you, you just wouldn't be booked anymore.
Yeah.
So they wanted you to grow and get better because they wanted to work with you. And, I just having the ability to be on the show with Aaron was amazing. And there's, I don't know, Josh, there's too many good things. And yeah, and me and you, we've had this conversation. We've been on cloud 9, being able to go out to eat with everybody.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Was nice,
Yeah. So the thing that I said, put a pin in, you were talking about sound. Yeah. I have got to give a massive shout out. There are so many unsung heroes on this show, dude. Mm-hmm. I think everyone was an unsung hero in their own way.
Yeah.
And then I want to end it with a very special story about this show. But real quick, I just got to give a shout out to Red Velvet again. Yes. He was running sound on that show. Oliver, how many shows have you been on where there is something wrong with the sound? There's downtime. Yep. There's all of that. he was so on it with music. There was zero downtime.
Correct.
Insane. The most smooth I have ever seen sound run on a show.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Easy. He did a phenomenal job. And it's little things like that if you put in competent people, your show is 100% easier.
And, Reb was the timekeeper and was ringing he was on it with the bell rings, and he was all this and all that. And it was just insane, man. Insane is the word that just keeps coming to mind.
In the membrane. See, that's insane. My ADHD.
That's a fucking, that's the second Dickie Roberts reference on this podcast, because that's in that movie.
I'm gonna start and that's why I wrestle with gloves on, because I don't want to touch people with my hands. Dickie Roberts. Yeah.
So
my favorite part of the night was I got to take promo pics in my new gear. That I didn't wear.
So
no, I'm just kidding. It was
my favorite part of the night. If you want to go ahead and tell me yours.
My favorite part was probably the whole night, man. Just seeing how everybody was excited. The reactions to the coloring pages to the guys, that was pretty freaking cool. It was just some of the things about just a wild hair. We're like, hey, let's do that. Okay. And people are like, I can't believe that. That's awesome. And here's 15, 20 copies of this thing. We didn't sell them because it's yours. Here you go. Take them with you so you can sell. And
simple.
But I don't know. Just having everybody together. Giving Dalton that match with Beef, the Ratatouille spot that I had done in a battle royal with that cat, where nobody was feeding to him. I was the only one. Like, come on, guys! If you're in a battle royal, your job is to feed to the guy that just comes in. So I'm glad he threw that in, because he originally wasn't going to do it, and I was like, are you doing the Ratatouille? And he's like, should I? And I go, hell yeah, man! That just for me. I just want to pop myself,
That's what a lot of MadBash wrestling really is. We're just popping ourselves, but we're not doing it in an egotistical way, because we're not going to go out of our way to do something to pop ourselves unless it works on the show.
I got in my high five spot that can never be done again. The one that I initiated that everybody steals.
Yeah, you can't do that in Marshall now, at least for another 6 months or something. So here's my favorite part of the night. And this is a good story, man. This is a good story. It's stuff like this that makes you love wrestling. So we are at intermission, and this woman comes up to me and she says to me, now I'm in the middle of running a show right now. There's music going on. I'm half paying attention to this woman. I'm just going through the motions of, oh, thank you. You're enjoying the show, whatever. She comes up to me and she is talking, and I'm kind of half registering. And I hear she has stage 4 cancer, and we don't know how long she's going to make it. Can we get some? I just stopped her and I said, you wait right here. So I go to the back, and in my head, I was thinking it was like a young girl. I get to the back, and everyone's kind of mingling, and I was like, hey, guys, quick announcement here. I said, baby faces, I need you guys. There's a girl out here that has stage 4 cancer. I was just told that before I could even finish the pitch, Beef was walking over to me. Ethan Heyer, Zach, all the baby faces that were back there, because some were outside mingling with fans already. So everyone gets up. I then go find Dalton. I go find Colby. I got every single good guy on the show. And this 85, I'm guessing she had to be in her 80s, year-old woman comes up, and she was sitting in the front row all night. I'm getting kind of choked up telling this. She was sitting in the front row all night, and I was watching her and seeing how much fun she was having. And she just, this firecracker of an old woman comes up, and all the guys gather around her. Her name was Pamela, or is Pamela. And She is just having an amazing time. Everyone gets their photo with her. Oliver puts the belt, holds the belt in front of, just little shit like that. And I'm assuming this is this woman's mom. She's just wiping tears out of her eyes as she's taking the photo. And she says to me, she said, this is the first ever time she's never been to a wrestling show. We don't know how much longer she's got. Stage 4 ovarian cancer. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, she's over there, talking to all you guys. I love you so much. I love you so much. And we kind of just mill about, when I look over a few minutes later and she is back in her seat and she's talking, ironically, to my sister-in-law who was at the show.
Yeah.
And I just see this old woman's just having the time of her life. She's crying, but they're happy tears. So I take it upon myself. I walk over, I put my arm around her. I introduce myself again. I'm like, first ever wrestling show, huh? And she's like, oh, I loved it. I loved it. We're going to be here. I'm going to be back in May because we're going to wrestle for the troops. And I was like, yeah, we are. I get her name, Pamela. And that kind of hit a chord with me because that's, that's my mom's name. And, my mom is one of the strongest women that I know, and she's beat breast cancer a lot, and so that really hit me. And I look at her and I was like, "Well, I'm going to tell you what." I said, "You're going to be here May 23rd, May 23rd onward. Every show that I ever run, no matter where it is, you have a free front row ticket." And she was so thankful, and to make that memory for her, and she'll never forget that. And going back and editing the show and watching the footage and just seeing this old woman just having the time of her life, someone was cutting onions, and it was just amazing. And after the show, running around like a chicken with my head cut off, getting last minute things. The ring is already down. I'm just cleaning up. And Dalton Davis pulls me to the side and he gives me this brother talk that is between me and him. And at one point in that conversation, he says, I am proud of you for doing that. And there's not many people that would do that. Wrestling is a selfish business, and how many promoters are going to give, not many. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm not doing this from a place of look at what I did. I've never done any of that. I've never done that. It was just cool, man. It was really cool. That's my favorite moment of the night.
Yeah. When we took that photos, when me and I think it was Zach had to hold her up because she was using a cane.
Yeah.
And she was spunky. And I think she tried to hand me her cane when I was on the outside getting my ass whooped by Aaron. But I was like, I had to fade that I couldn't take it because she's like, here, use my cane and beat his ass, and it was.
Which, with the ability of hindsight, you and Aaron having a sword fight with the canes would have been good, but man.
Yeah, it was that doesn't mean that if you come to us with a sob story, you're gonna get.
It's not. Yeah, this is a one and done, guys. This is a one and done. Let me throw that out there.
This was a special. Special thing. I just want to make sure that's out there, that it's not.
Don't come to us
messaging Dickie. Well, my tooth hurts, and or one time I stubbed my toe, and
this is a woman for all intents and purposes. Her daughter said, we don't know how much longer she's got. Maybe it's this amount of time, maybe it's that amount of time, but God damn it, the amount of time that she has, I am going to be sure that MadBash Wrestling is in her life, not for the fame, not for the glory, but because you couldn't wipe that smile off her face all night.
Yeah, she was having a great time.
That's what it's about.
And that's, one of them serendipitous moments. And I wanted to give a shout out to Mama and Papa Wabash for the amount of effort they put into helping.
Yes.
Tarping up, going to pick up the ring, doing her best to getting thrown into the thing as you're counting my tickets. huh? Okay, let me try to do my best, you know. The fact that they wanted the joy that they had on their face seeing, you know, being how proud they were of you finally accomplishing something that you wanted to do for how long. And, you know, it was wonderful. The double B hats, the Ribera jackets of ours, the double Bs, you know, Tiger walking around, feeling good.
He had a couple libations.
Yeah, he had something in his cup that you know, but he was passing out hugs and just celebrating with you. They were both celebrating with you.
Yeah, they were.
You know, I mean, everybody needs a dad that's going to keep a piece on him when you're doing big money transactions. You know what I'm saying?
That story's going to come out one day. That's a paid show story. But yeah, man, it was a great time. We're going to talk more about Event Horizon. We're going to completely just destroy the curtain, I think, on paid show, because there's a couple of things that we got to really, really get into with that one.
Of all the shows we've had, it's the best one, you know. And of all the standalone shows we've done, it is the best one.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Whether it is a standalone or a collaboration, it's the best show that's had the MadBash Wrestling stamp on it. But yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and hop off here. You know, again, May 23rd, we will be back in Marshall. I think it's becoming the hottest ticket in town. And a lot of people are already hitting me up wanting to get reserved tickets. And I'm telling you, front row sold out. So get with us and get that sorted out. You can, of course, find me on Instagram at DWobsEditBay. Oliver Kane, you can find him on Instagram at Hybrid Kane. I remember your plug skis. Do you have any other plugs or anything you want to throw out there?
No, man. You know, just the 23rd, we're doing our thing in Marshall, Illinois. I'm excited. I'm excited to really yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about some other stuff on paid show, but stick around.
Yeah, stick around, man. This is going to be the summer of MadBash. But yeah, again, at DWobsEditBay, at Hybrid Kane, MadBashStudios.com for everything MadBash. Of course, Patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Some of you might already be on there, and you're about to hear us on paid show. But if you are not, then we will see you down the road on some form of content.